Hello, hello. I'm Juliana Hever, the plant-based dietitian, and this is the What Would Juliana Do Q&A. Today, I wanted to answer your questions about raw food, specifically mostly fruits and vegetables. So it is wonderful to get a variety of fruits and vegetables. I want half your plate, half your day, half your diet to come from fruits and vegetables. You'll notice in the 6 daily threes, we've got leafy green and cruciferous vegetables, we've got fruit, and we've got other colored vegetables. That is because there is a plethora of fabulous nutrition found in fruits and vegetables. Now, what happens is when you cook them, some of the nutrition can be lost. Some of the nutrients can be lost. It depends on how you cook it, how long you cook it. Is it wet versus dry cooking? It depends on the nutrient you're talking about. Certain things tend to leach even more, like vitamin C tends to leach out of fruits and vegetables really quickly when it's cooked. And then are you capturing it into a broth or a soup so that you're getting some of that nutrition still, even though it's seeped out into the liquid? Or are you pouring off the liquid? Like, are you steaming something and then pouring out that liquid where all the nutrition ended up in that liquid and you're pouring it down the sink? So those things matter too. So it's really good to incorporate lots of raw foods, but it's also good to incorporate cooked foods. Certain nutrients are actually enhanced in terms of absorption and how it acts in the body once it's cooked. So certain things like the carotenoids, lutein and lycopene, so things found like in tomatoes. So if you simmer a tomato sauce for all day long, like they do in the Mediterranean diet and in all those different things where you talk about sofritos and stuff like that, where it's a long cooking tomato sauce, that's where those nutrients are actually enhanced and have a better impact on decreasing the risk for prostate cancer and increasing eye health, stuff like that. So it's really good to have both raw and cooked foods in your day. And of course, it's a great way to get more vegetables, especially when you cook them. If you think about like a pile of leafy greens, let's say you have this huge, enormous pile of kale or spinach, and you cook it and it ends up being this big. It's like kind of crazy, right? How many times have you been kind of awestruck by the difference between when it was raw and then when it's cooked? So the good news about that is you're gonna get more of those leafy greens goodness into your body, and that's another way to think about why you wanna eat both. So if you'll notice on the 6 daily threes, where we have the leafy green and cruciferous vegetables, we have the other colored veggies, and we have fruits as 3 of those 6 daily threes, one serving is 1 cup raw or half a cup cooked. And really that's kind of an underestimation because it shrinks it that much, but you wanna include both. So there are some benefits of people trying a raw diet, an all raw diet. Is it necessary? No. Some of the benefits can be interrupted by some of the pitfalls. Like for instance, some people struggle with a completely raw diet because, well, first of all, it's hard to do. You have to be really, really prepared and have a lot of food on hand. And the second thing is it can be hard to get enough calorie for most people because, you're eliminating a lot of things like cooked grains, cooked legumes. And so then people tend to gravitate towards things like too many nuts and seeds or too much. Some people go towards eating oils, coconut oil and stuff like that, which I don't recommend on a whole food plant-based diet anyway. There are some pitfalls with a completely raw diet, but you don't have to be completely raw. You can do both. So include both raw, eat salads every day, but also eat cooked. The other pitfall I would say, and something that a lot of people feel like they're missing out on, is that warm comfort food of having like a hot bowl of soup or a hot cooked meal. Like they say, I want a comforting cooked meal. So it doesn't really matter. It's good to incorporate both into your diet. When you're eating the raw, you're getting all of the intact nutrition, but there's also some inhibitors like oxalates and stuff that can get cooked away when you cook them. So that's another perk of cooking some of those foods as well. So the solution to it not having to be extreme in either direction is to incorporate both raw, fresh fruits and vegetables and cooked as well. And then doing things like sprouting, which is done a lot on a raw food diet, and it's a way to eat things like, legumes and whole grains without cooking them, but you could sprout them. And what's great about that is it actually breaks down some of those inhibitors and it increases the absorption of certain nutrients. So that's something to try too. But again, it doesn't have to be all raw. You could just incorporate raw into your diet. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful questions and comments. Please keep them coming in the comment section below via direct message or my website, plantbaseddietitian.com. You can go there to find out more about my nutrition services, my weight loss support group, my books, and my podcast, the Choose You Now podcast. Again, join me there at plantbaseddietitian.com. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.